Hey, what's up everyone? How you doing? It is me, Mr. 4K Upscaler. So finally I got my hands on BenQ EL2870U 4K HDR monitor from BenQ. This is a TN panel, and one problem that I have with a TN panel is that sometimes, well, not sometimes, but most of the times it shifts color. So when you move to the left and you move to the right, you can see the color shift. Uh, so for example, if I move a little bit to the left like this, you will see the color shift a little bit. Like you see over there, it's already shifting right over here. That's just part of the TN panel. Uh, So let me show you the cosmetics first of this BenQ monitor before I start doing the test. This will be a 22-minute video recorded in 2560 by 1440p. So let's talk about this monitor. Cosmetics. It really has a nice stand right here, like aluminum metal brush finish. Actually, it is not aluminum metal brush finish. It's just decorated that way and designed that way to look like it's a metal brush finish, but it's not. It's actually a plastic. It's just painted that way. But the bezels are very thick. I do have to agree that the bezels are very thick and they look very sturdy. This is not a light monitor. This monitor definitely has some hefty weight to it. This is a 28-inch. Obviously, if you go with 32-inch, it's going to be even more sturdy. Now, on the right side right here is where your buttons are. There's the power light right there. You can see the power light when it's turned on, and you also have this other button right here, which is for you to select HDR. You click on it, you can select HDR on, or you can turn it off. You can turn the BI on and off as well. Another cool feature is this BI, which is a brightness intelligent mode. You can turn it on or off. This is in case you would like to have the monitor sensor, which is right over here, has built-in sensor for the light. You can see it right here. This sensor right here, it's the sensor that controls the light and your environment light in your studio or in your office. Therefore, the color and the contrast will decrease and the backlit will decrease depending on the your ambient light. I don't really recommend that you use this feature because sometimes it can dim the screen. I would usually just turn that off because this is not a very bright monitor. It's only 300 nits, which is more than enough. So I don't think you need this that much. But it's cool that they have it. You know what I mean? I'll keep the HDR on right there. This is the back of the monitor. You can see that right there. You got the some openings right there for the heat to come out. You have a BenQ logo right there. And then right here, you can also put this, if you want, onto a wall. You can mount this monitor onto a wall, which is pretty cool, by the way. And here is where all your HDMI and Displayport inputs are. It does have a Displayport, and that's what I'm using for my PC. And also it has two HDMIs right there that you can use. Currently I'm using 2.0, which is connected to my PlayStation that I'm going to test in a minute. And then here is my DisplayPort that I'm using for my laptop. Basically, this is a DisplayPort to a mini DisplayPort, and my laptop comes with it. And there it is right there. You can see it on my laptop right there. Now, before I start to do my test, uh, I think I already covered this monitor in one of my videos months ago, where I gave you my specification on it and the analysis of the monitor. Here's the deal. This is a 10-bit monitor, okay? However, it's very important that you guys understand that due to the fact that it's a TN panel, therefore you can't expect the contrast ratio to be that really good, okay? This is a monitor, it is not a TV, so you're not going to have that contrast ratio that you're going to have on the television set, like TCLR 617, all right? It is a monitor, first and foremost. So the HDR here, due to the TN panel, it's going to be it's going to be okay, but it's not going to be super colorful and vibrant as on your Sony X900E or on your NBP photon technology on TCL. So don't expect the HDR to be super great, super bright. It is only 300 nits, but again, 300 nits for a monitor, I guess that's fine, because you're not going to be really watching this monitor from far away. You're going to be sitting right in front of it, so the 300 nits, it's fine. I wish that it was 600 to 700. If it was 700 nits, then that HDR would have been much better. If they went with the IPS panel and 700 nits, the HDR would have looked much better. But let's go through these specs really quick, just so that way you guys understand what this monitor consists of. There's also a 32-inch. This is a 28-inch. So I'm going to do it this way, so that way you guys can read it yourself, and also I can read it for you if you can't see. Okay, so as I mentioned, it is 28-inch. It is a TN panel. It is LED backlit. It supports a resolution of 3840 by 2160. It does have the peak brightness of 300 nits. The native contrast ratio, it's 1000 to 1, which is okay. You know, it's like I said, it cannot go exceed more than that because it is TN panel. All right, and the color gamut, it's 72%, which is okay, but don't expect the HDR to pop. Like I said, you're getting a decent color gamut, 72%, and due to the TN panel, like I said, I don't expect the HDR to pop here. First and foremost, this is a gaming monitor, okay? What you're looking for here, it's 1 millisecond G response time, so that's why you're buying this monitor, is for the gaming. Refresh rate 60 hertz, okay? I think it would have been cool if they had included a 144 hertz refresh rate. That would have been great. I think the value of this monitor would have been even bigger. It has display color 1.07 billion colors. Dynamic contrast ratio, it's 12 million to 1, which is okay. Color bit, it's 10 bits. So this is one major difference between this and the LG UD69P, the monitor that I have, which is also a 4K monitor, but it doesn't support a 10-bit, it supports sRGB. Okay, this right here, it's the 10-bit monitor, and I think that's one of the big deals, because this is the first, of its cheapest kind 10-bit HDR monitor. Okay, so it has some cool stuff, and then it has some negatives. Okay, it's a mixed bag. What I'm trying to say, the BenQ, it's kind of like a mixed bag. All right, but again, you have to look at the price. You're paying $500 instead of $1,000. It has also built-in speakers, which I like. It has the headphone jack, so that's pretty cool. All right, so now that I showed you this out of the way, now that you know the specifications, let me go ahead and let me do some tests. My first test is going to be with Detroit Become Human. So I'm going to test that game to see how well it works on this monitor. Remember, this is just my first initial look into the BenQ and also my first initial test. There will be many, many, many more tests throughout the days on this BenQ 4K HDR monitor. Let's go ahead and let's fire up two games we're going to test. Gears of War, not Gears of War, I'm sorry. God of War and Detroit. So get ready for God of War and Detroit. Both games are HDR and they support 4K resolution. Oh yeah, one more thing. It does support FreeSync technology, so that's pretty cool. And I'm using Displayport, so that means that I can utilize that FreeSync. My only problem is that my laptop right now doesn't support a FreeSync because it doesn't have AMD, it has NVIDIA. So cannot use the cannot use the FreeSync, but I should be able to utilize the FreeSync from Xbox One X. Yeah, one more thing I forgot to show you is the menu. Right here, when you go underneath, you click right here underneath. You have the menu, you click on it, and you click on the menu right over here. And then from there, you can navigate with the arrows top to down. You can look at the picture settings, you can click on it. You can look at the sharpness. So just like your typical stuff, picture advance. You can go there, look at the picture mode, cinema HDR mode. Right now, that's what it's turned on. I'm gonna go ahead and switch it back to an HDR mode. There's the game mode. Why don't we just leave it on the game? There's a game mode. There's a cinema HDR mode, and then there's the HDR, and there's a standard. I'll leave it on a cinema HDR mode for now. So we're gonna exit that. All right, so let's start with Detroit Become Human. Let's jump right into it. So here we are with the PlayStation 4. You can see it. Actually, it looks pretty good though. I have to tell you guys, there's a nice, smooth, sharp detail to it, and especially when you have the HDR mode on, even though it's modifying that, it's forcing that HDR, but it's actually this is pretty good in my opinion. You guys can disagree, but I mean it's not bad. A lot of people have been, kind of complaining about this monitor, but so far what I'm seeing, it's honestly it's not that bad. So let's jump into Detroit Become Human really quick. Let's do some tests, shall we? I mean, the deep dark levels are really nice. They're not that bad. As you can see right here, I don't see any like bending light from top to bottom, anything like that. Even though it's a TN panel. However, like I said, TN panel, when you shift a little bit to the left, a little bit to the right, the colors shift as well. But again, you're going to be watching this monitor front and center. Okay, you're not going to be playing this monitor from left to right. You're going to be watching it from center. All right, so this is Detroit Become Human. Here we go. As you can see, the deep dark levels are really nice, actually. It's not bad. However, I would recommend that you guys go with a 32-inch. I think 32-inch will give you a much better 4K look to it.
You decide the fate of your characters. All of them can die. So, be careful.
Speakers are decent. They're not bad. I think they're like 10-watt speakers, which is not bad. Hey, look, at least it comes with the speakers. I'm not saying you should use these speakers. Obviously, you should have your own speakers. But hey, I like the fact that it comes with the speakers. With the LG UD69P, it doesn't have the speakers, so you constantly have to get some pair of speakers to plug it in. And sometimes that can be a pain in the ass. But I think this is kind of convenient and nice that actually it comes with the built-in speakers. All right, this is the beginning of the game. Here we go. You guys have seen me play this. This is HDR. Right now what you're looking at, it's HDR, and it looks pretty good, as a matter of fact. It's not bad. Not bad at all. Any input lag, as you can see, not really. I'm testing it right now. I think one of the important aspects you have to guys look for on this monitor is, remember, this is not a television, this is a monitor, and one of the benefits is that 1 millisecond GTG response time. You're not going to find a 1 millisecond GTG response time on a television, on a TCL or on Sony or on the Samsung. You're not going to find that response time to be 1 millisecond, okay? Deep dark levels actually are pretty good though. I don't see any like bleeding light or anything like that. So it looks pretty good.
Do that. You. Why aren't you sending a real person?
I was really I was afraid it's gonna be I was afraid it's gonna be maybe I was afraid that maybe it's going to be a bit washed out. A lot of people were saying that the colors are a bit washed out, but I don't see it, honestly. I don't see any kind of washed out colors or anything like that. Let me talk to the captain.
Captain Allen, my name is Connor. I'm the android sent by CyberLife.
It looks pretty sharp though. It's not bad. This is not bad at all. I mean, colors are very visible. You see the blue, you see the red, the green. They're not washed out, and the screen looks very sharp.
Do you know its name? I haven't got a clue. Does it matter? I need information to determine the best approach. Has it experienced an emotional shock recently? Listen, saving that kid is all that matters. So either you deal with this fucking android now, or I'll take care of it.
All right, I got maybe 4 minutes left. Let me go try out and test God of War. All right, so let's continue. Look, it looks very sharp. It looks very vibrant. I like it though. I mean, I don't see what I was really expecting to be washed out, to be like horrible, but it's really not that bad for a TN panel. This is a 10-bit panel, but it's a TN panel. Actually, this is not bad. Honestly, guys, the HDR definitely shows here. Even with 300 nits, there's definitely a nice vibrant colors being presented here. Even in a lit up room, I'm in like a very lit up room here with my studio lights and everything. And here's the deal, guys. I'm gonna tell you my first impressions are these. Remember, you are buying a, how should I put this? You're not buying a television. Remember, I hate comparing televisions to monitors because they're two different things. Monitors, this monitor is meant for gaming, meaning you want to have the nice performance with your PlayStation 4 and your Xbox, okay? Okay, you don't want to have some kind of like crappy performance. You want to have a really good performance with your 1 millisecond GTG response time. This thing also has a FreeSync. You're not going to get that 1 millisecond GTG response time with a with something like television, okay? But with this, you're gonna get that. And the speakers are not that bad either. The speakers look actually pretty good. I mean, they sound pretty good. I'm sorry. I meant to say the speakers sound pretty good for this monitor. I don't know why I said they look good. They sound good. Today I cannot talk, so I apologize to you. So it's really it's not that bad, considering this is a monitor. So if you're thinking about purchasing this monitor for your PlayStation 4 Pro or your Xbox One X, my first impressions are it really looks it looks better than I expected. Look, it's not super great, of course, but considering the price, considering that this is a first and foremost a monitor, this is not bad. My first impressions are that this actually looks very sharp, looks very detailed, and yes, there are some colors. I mean, the colors do pop. You definitely get a nice color gamut here. Whatever percentage, 72% of the color gamut, which is pretty decent for a 4K monitor. Also remember, this is a 10-bit monitor, so the color gamut will look better than on the sRGB. Okay, we have to keep that in mind as well. But the main reason why you're going to be purchasing this monitor, it's because of the performance. That 1 millisecond GTG performance that's needed for gaming, especially for Call of Duty. If you're somebody who plays Fortnite, Call of Duty, or Battlefield 1, this will be excellent choice. Now, if you don't have a 4K TV, I would recommend this as an alternative. I would recommend this as an alternative for those of you who don't have a 4K monitor. If you have a 4K TV, then yes, go ahead and purchase this. Okay, but if you don't have a 4K TV, I would say, for extra $100, you can have TCL R617. However, the reason you're getting the monitor is because of the performance. All right, this is just my first look into this, guys. I'm gonna have to cut this video short. There will be more and more videos of this. This is just my first very look into this monitor, and so far it's not bad. Not bad at all. All right, guys, take care. This is Snake signing off.